Hi, my name is Carl John Fechner and I help baby boomer small business owners transform their online presence with our coaching and digital marketing agency. And last time when I talked with you, I talked about what every small business owner must know before they begin to build an effective online presence that gets more leads, more sales and higher profits. And we talked about the internet being the greatest media marketing opportunity in history. And we also talked about the road to a sale, on how when your buyer comes in, they come in at search marketing versus your traditional marketing of intrusive marketing. This is search marketing, meaning they're coming online to buy and they're somewhere along what I term as the road to a sale. And we talked about answering every question, doubt, fear, concern, whatever the questions they had, is to answer that completely on your online presence. And we also talked about when they came in, that fear of loss weighed heavily on their mind and hope for gain had little substance. And by creating this, you built trust and relationship with your client or your buyer or potential buyer, and you eliminated the fear of loss and created such a hope of gain from your product that your customer had reached a tipping point where they become predisposed from buying from you. And then they either bought online for you, or they ordered online from you, or they contacted you directly. But what you had done with your online presence is as I said, created this road to a sale where they become predisposed from buying from you. Now today what I want to talk about is your website or your whole online presence, how you need to create this, how you work with Google to make this work. What I want to talk about is your website. Most people don't really have a clear understanding of what the website should be, what it should look like, or we're all baby boomers, we're not used to the online presence, we can't get our head around it, we haven't grown up with it like our grandchildren, etc. So it's a bit difficult how to put it in a box, so to speak. So let me help you first of all with this so it helps make sense. Is that, think of your website as your physical premises. If you've got a shop or a shop front or whatever sort of business that you may have, overlay your website as that it's the shop front, it's the physical place of where you've got your business. You might be a plumber and you've got a truck on the road or whatever with sign writing on whatever on it, whatever. Anything like that, just get that picture in your mind of what it is. So it's not a brochure. Some people think that it's just a brochure. Well, that's not, and I hope on that last video that I really demonstrated there that you're actually taking them on a road to a sale. And a brochure typically doesn't do that. Certainly most of them aren't, unless they know or understand good copywriting or emotional direct response marketing. But that's another story. Let's look at your website. So imagine your website is your physical location. So even in some ways, like let's use it if it was say a car dealership, for example. A car dealership, what you want to do is create like a virtual showroom, a virtual used car yard, a virtual spare parts. So if they came to your physical location, it would look just like what they saw online. And that's the same with a motel or accommodation, etc. The fears, the doubts, the concerns they have is they want to know, what's the bed like, what's the bedroom like, is the bathroom, what's it like, all of those questions, and you need to show them on your website. So I hope you're starting to get an idea or a picture of what this has looked like. So then when you do your website, there's a few fundamentals that it is, and we're not sure whether we can get it all covered in this one video now, but if you look at your website, there's some fundamental things that you need to know. That when people look on their computer screen, or it comes up on this computer screen, is that there might be this is called the fold. And if it's their computer screen, it covers like that. So this piece of real estate above the fold, and they can't see it, so that's their computer screen. I hope this makes sense, is that what they see above within their computer screen on your website is very important. This is very valuable real estate, and you really need to think out what you're actually going to have it. So imagine that's the line. So the website, continues on further than that, and this is the foundation for it. The other thing is with it is that your contact details need to be up there in the top right hand corner. That's where the eye typically goes to. Make it really easy for them to contact you. So have your email address and contact details there. Ideal world, put a Google map beside it. So that if it's a physical location and it's an interactive Google map, that means that they can just click on that and they can instantly see where it is. By the way, with their phone number, make sure the phone number and the email address are clickable links. So that means if they're on a smartphone or whatever, that they can turn around and just click on it and be instantly dialing you. Very, very important. Across the rest of it here, across your header, make sure you've got good relevant keywords, on your page, not keywords, sorry, your headings, good relevant headings that are along there so that they can see quickly. The site needs to be easy to navigate and intuitive because, they're not coming to spend a lot of time on your site. In fact, is that you're only just one fish in a big pond of people that they're searching for. They can just flick through just like we used to do with the yellow pages. They just quickly flick through. You've got to be able to catch them and get them to stay and come onto your website. So make those good attention grabbing. The other thing is with this, with your website, is WIFM. And WIFM stands for what's in it for me. WIFM. What stands in it for me? They're not interested in about you. They're interested in what's in it for me. Can you solve my problem, my concern? Have you got the answer for it? And they want it quickly. Now, in typical salesmanship or typical face-to-face selling, on average you have about 5 to 7 seconds to get to engage, and they're either on-side with you or they're off-side with you that first 5 to 7 seconds. The website is not much different. In fact, some people say it's even less. But let's just, for this example, say we got 5 to 7 seconds to gather their attention. So when they come onto this page, it very quickly must talk to them and tell them that it's got the solution to their problem. So you've only got 5 to 7 seconds, to get their attention with them. What's in it for me? So very important for you to understand that information, that you address that very quickly. And it needs to be above this fold line. Now, the interesting thing is with this fold line is you need to have information, whether it's images or text or whatever. And let's say that's text, and you've got an image here. What you need to do is have it in a way that it partially sits above the fold line and partially sits there, so they know there's more information on that page that they need to scroll down and need to scroll down to see what is there. Okay. Now, on your website, Google loves good content. And they are really thingy about this, and understandably so, is that your content that's there in your headlines and everything else in here must immediately address what they're looking for. And also the rest of your website needs to have good contact on it as well. Another thing is that you should have a blog on your website. And what a blog means is just a fancy internet terminology to say, you're writing articles. You're writing articles and posting them on your website. And really you should be posting an article once a week, some topic that would be informative or interesting to them. So typically, your blog or your industry news will go down the side here and again extend, and that should be just headlines on the stuff that is there. So it's just a one-liner headline, attention-grabbing headlines, so that they give them something to click onto. And also what you should have on your site is an opt-in box where you're collecting their name and email address. Now, I can't go into all of the ins and outs of this. I can only basically give you headlines, with this, because this is such an intensive subject on the whole lot. But I just wanted to give you a basic overview and some things that are real fundamentals. Now, the other thing is on your social media site buttons, they should sit down the side, or they can sit up the top. And there's typically about, let me just think, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram are the ones that are the basic ones that are now. So there's about 5 or 6 that you need to be on. Why do you need to be on them? Because Google wants to place good content and a good user experience for their customers. So it's important for you to understand to work with the system. And if you're in a competitive field like accommodation and stuff, these are must-dos. And don't forget what I said in the first video. This is the greatest media marketing opportunity in history, this whole internet, online presence, digital marketing, etc., etc. This is massive. As I said to you earlier, 100% increase in a motel, 150% increase in a potato cake manufacturer, dominating nationally the marketplace. So don't underestimate the power of what this stuff can do. And when I start talking about the things you need to do, don't feel overwhelmed or burdened with it. The reality is, this is where the money is, and you've got to ask yourself, what would 100% increase do for your business? Because the results typically are outstanding for those that do it right. And even if you bring it down, what would a 50% increase in your business do it? So don't look at this as how much work you're going to it takes to do. It's a mind shift that you need to have. How much money can this make? And for me, I would virtually not spend any money anywhere else on advertising, and if I did, it would be very minimal, and it would be all used to drive it to my online presence. Because the exciting part about your digital presence or your online presence is it's 24/7. So if you set it up properly, you've got a salesperson that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. And the results of this stuff is outstanding. I see it happen over and over and over and over and over and over. Now, so with your website, there's some basic things on colour schemes and everything else. Don't use fancy fonts. The biggest challenge you're going to have with designers is they want to, have all, and especially in the photography industry, they want to have all this fancy, font styles and everything else. People can't read it. It's too hard to read. And don't forget, you've got 5 to 7 seconds at best to get their attention, and they want to know what's in it for them, with them, what's in it for me. And if you're not answering that question, or you make it hard, click, they're gone. Just like it is with fishing. If you got fishing and you got for timid fish, and if you're not there, really got everything set up properly, you ain't going to catch the fish. And this is the same way. This, the whole online presence, I can't begin to describe just how much this can transform your business if you become a master of it, or you at best, become a master at it, or team up with some digital marketing agency that really understands this stuff. And I see it time and time again, where business owners will go to a techie company. The techie companies are technical people. They don't understand marketing. And design people, they don't understand marketing, most of them, and they'll just want to do this magic design, but it actually doesn't take the people anywhere. It's still, what it's doing is, it's just you've got this fancy brochure that's not actually selling for you. You need to partner yourself with a digital marketing agency, people that have clearly got rungs on the board, that know how to do this stuff and convert your customer. Doesn't matter whether it's us or who it is. The important part it is, do a mindset change in this, and don't make it the smallest amount of money that you invest in your marketing. I continually see this happen, and it really burdens me when I see it. And a classic example of recently, I saw a guy, a car dealer, spend some $18,000 in TV advertising over a period of a 30-day period and would have had little to no results with it. And even if he did, the typical results on intrusive marketing is a 1 to 3% conversion. Whereas the internet, once you build this stuff and put it there and get yourself on the front page of Google, it is there always. And so it doesn't matter whether your customer comes in at 9 o'clock at night or 1 a.m. in the morning or Saturday or Sunday or 10:30 at night, whenever, your business is sitting there. And if you've mastered what I said in the first video about the road to a sale and understand the psychology of your customer, this will give you spectacular results, 100 to 150% increase or whatever. It can happen all the time because your competition in general is asleep. There's very few industries out there that have really nailed it. And I can just about guarantee you your competitors will be asleep. If you embrace this, you will own the market. And it's coming back to what I said earlier about this being the greatest media marketing opportunity in history. And the results for it is massive for the minimal returns. And if you got all your other advertising money that you're doing and put it together, and even if you only put 50 or 60% of it, even though I would go for the lot, and put it into this and do a really good job with a digital marketing agency, you will be amazed at your results. It is so significant of what's taking place. It is amazing. Anyway, I trust that you've enjoyed this video and what I've taught in here. The next video, what I want to talk about is how you actually drive the traffic to your online presence. I'm sorry, this is such a big depth in here, to try and cover this, but I just want to do some real basics and give you that outline. The whole purpose of all of these videos is to give you an overview so that you've got a foundation that you can work on to really go out there into the marketplace and find yourself a good company to work with and transform your online presence. So I trust that you've enjoyed today, and if you've enjoyed this video, post a comment, or you got any questions, post a comment or a question down below and share it with your friends, because I'm sure that there's others out there that are having major challenges with their online presence as well. Bye for now.